refuge and a deeply personal one, but he's created the space with such love and such care. He's in a sense inviting us to feel right at home.
And love and care in a different way than we might normally expect.
The care that I meant was the care that's based on his observation, his experience in this room, his having touched that seat, his having slept in that bed, his intimate experience that he's been able to convey to us with extraordinary immediacy.
Think for a second of the sophistication of the Paris art world and the expectation of a Parisian audience, and look at that wooden nightstand or toilet table, as he called it in his letter. It looks like it was drawn by a child. It has no modulation. It has blue outlines, and the color is otherwise flat. The perspective doesn't make sense. I think this painting must have looked like it was made by an artist who wasn't trained properly.
And yet here's an artist who's really worked through a catalog of the styles of the 19th century, beginning, for instance, with the art of people like Millet, moving through the Impressionists, and then really paying attention to the Neo-Impressionists, people like Seurat, and here finding a kind of very direct application of paint that I think for Van Gogh felt absolutely authentic.
Authenticity is the key word. I think for a lot of artists, including Gauguin, at the end of the 1880s and the beginning of the 1890s, this idea of finding authentic experience, and that being not the experience of the city.
This links back to some of the ideas that surround the work of, say, Courbet, where there's this clear contrast between the sophistication of the city and, in a sense, the truth and directness of the country. And Van Gogh has been able to convey that beautifully. This is a painting that is also meant to be a kind of invitation to his friends in the North that he was hoping would come down and join him.
He has an idea of creating a rather utopian setting for artists to make art away from the city in some sort of communion with nature.
Van Gogh gives us a kind of extraordinarily sophisticated innocence. Only here color is to do everything, and